What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 3, The Tea is Served. Okay, so it's going to be Brooklyn's third birthday party. Kenya's looking for a venue to host the party. And she has decided to host the birthday party at a museum. And I was thinking to myself, how is this going to turn into a venue for a 3-year-old's birthday party? But it did, and it looked really great at the end. And the budget for the party was about $10,000 to $15,000. So it's a good thing that she's on this show to record this event. And I'm pretty sure she took a lot of pictures and a lot of videos, because $10,000 to $15,000, little Brooklyn is probably not going to remember any of this, but at least she's going to have the footage. Moving on to Sheree and Marlo. So they're at the gym, pretending to work out. And Sheree has on this really cute shirt that says joggers on top. And it's in the Google font and Google colors. And in the search bar, it says She by Sheree. And I thought to myself, that is such a cute idea to make fun of yourself and to also promote your business. That's a really cute idea. If that is being sold on her website or online boutique or whatever the hell, that I'm pretty sure would probably sell out, because I thought that was just so adorable. Or maybe that's just me, but I thought the shirt was cute. So Sheree's upset that Kandi didn't come directly to her about what the assistant said. That doesn't matter, Sheree, that Kandi didn't come directly to you. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We know you don't pay your bills, and it's okay. This is who you are. This is what you do. You don't pay people. We understand. We're used to it. We get it. It's okay. So, and then Marlo was asking Sheree for advice about raising kids. And Sheree said something like, well, I raised my 3 children on my own as a single parent. And I was like, okay, where the hell was Bob Whitfield? What do you mean you raised these kids on your own? Is Bob Whitfield still alive? Like, what do you mean you raised these kids by yourself? I thought Bob Whitfield still had a relationship with his children as they were growing up after him and Sheree got a divorce. So they got a divorce and he never saw his kids again. I didn't understand. I didn't get that. Then Marlo talks about Kenya. So the conversation steers to Kenya, and then Marlo wants to, talk about the white refrigerator and all. Look, Marlo, I don't care about the white refrigerator. I don't care whether Kenya borrowed a Jeep from Lisa Ray. That stuff is so boring. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me at all, Marlo. If she lived in a hotel or an apartment or whatever the hell it was, and it had a white refrigerator. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have one anymore. And we all go through tough times. The money is up and down for a lot of people. So maybe at that time, the money was down for her. It doesn't even matter. Who cares about somebody's refrigerator? Marlo, we need some new material from you. Moving on to Kandi. So Kandi has booked an acting role in something called A La Carte. I don't know if it's a movie. I don't know if it's a TV show. I don't know if it's a play. But she's really excited about it. She thinks that she's like in the running for an EGOT, which is someone who has won all 4 or 5 awards: an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. So she's like, I already got the Grammy down. Yeah, and that's about all that you're going to get down, Kandi. I don't want to, it's not like I don't believe in Kandi and I don't believe in her talent or anything like that, but girl, an Oscar? Really? Okay. Moving on. So her and Todd, because Todd comes in as she's talking to her manager or something. Todd comes in, and I don't know why Todd is like such a whiner. He's coming off like such a damn whiner. So he's whining about how Kandi has some business ventures or some projects that she's doing completely on her own without Todd. Now Todd, I guess, is used to him and Kandi always doing business together, and he's not used to, I guess, Kandi doing something on her own. And I don't know why this bothers him. I have no idea. Y'all are still married. Y'all are still living in the same home. I'm assuming that the relationship is still good between the two of you. It's okay if Kandi wants to venture out and do her own thing. Now, Todd himself is involved in something that Kandi has nothing to do with. He's got some show that he's producing, I think with Carlos King. And Candy's got nothing to do with that. And she's perfectly okay with that. And Todd was like, well, I didn't think you wanted to be involved anyway. And Candy said, well, that's not the point. The point is you didn't ask me to do it. And I was fine with that. So you should be okay if I don't ask you to be, my co-business partner in whatever the hell I'm doing. Y'all can have separate ventures and have separate interests and do separate things. I don't understand, Todd, why this bothers him so much. So moving on from that, Drew is in a toy store and she's looking for a gift for Miss Brooklyn for the birthday party, and she's with her assistant. So the conversation turns to Sheree and how Sheree never paid the assistant. So now the assistant says that he had hooked up Sheree with a distributor for her fashion line and he never got paid. And so I was confused. Okay, I didn't follow this very well. So I'm assuming the assistant wanted to get paid for hooking up Sheree with this distributor. I'm thinking that's what he's upset about, because I thought he was upset because he was her assistant and he was working for her, clocking in and clocking out Monday through Friday and not getting paid, at all. But it seems like it was just this one thing that he was trying to do for Sheree, and Sheree never paid him. So I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. I didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. But that was completely different from what I thought was going on. So while they're in the store, Drew gets a call from Sonia. Sonia has been in some accident with an 18-wheeler. She got sideswiped. The 18-wheeler dragged her car, her truck or whatever, and her car got messed up. So, Drew to the rescue, her and her assistant, they book it out of the toy store, and they go to rescue Sonia wherever the hell she's at. Sonia. So Sonia, her husband is back from Texas, and because he has a business in Texas, it is called Ross Elite Chauffeur Business. So during the pandemic, the chauffeur business really suffered because he had to get rid of, quite a few drivers. So he's trying to build his business back up. So he was in Texas dealing with that. And, believe it or not, that was interesting to me. I was interested in that. Like, oh, he has his own little side thing going on, a chauffeur business. I wanted to know more about it, actually. Now we're at Brooklyn's tea party. So everybody starts showing up, and then Drew shows up in a dress that is identical, except for the color. It is identical to the dress that Kenya wore 2 years previous at Brooklyn's Barbie party. And I'm like, why would you wear a dress that another housewife has worn, even though it's different colors? Like, Drew, that was a bad look. It makes you look like you're very unoriginal. It makes you look like you're a copycatter. It makes you look like you're trying to be like someone else. That was really sad that you showed up in a dress that was already worn by another housewife 2 years previous. And it kind of makes it look like your fashion sense is late. So Drew tells Sonia about her and Ralph. Evidently, her and Ralph are still going through it. They show us like a flashback scene with Drew and Ralph talking, and evidently Ralph is now sleeping in Makai's room. I think that's their son that they have together. He's sleeping in his son's room, and in the flashback scene, Ralph is telling Drew that I really wanted to treat you like a queen, and he's referring to the dinner that he had planned for her, where he had planned that whole entire day just to kind of pamper her and treat her and present her with all these gifts and have a really nice dinner for her. He says, I really wanted to treat you like a queen, but you basically spit in my face. And I felt like, and a lot of people I guess don't see it this way, but I felt like this should have been that one night for just a couple of hours where Drew did not bring up their problems and just enjoy the moment and try to keep it light and try to keep it romantic, and whether she should be with this man or not be with this man, that's really not for us to say. That's only for her to say. And it seems like where we are at in the show, she is still with her man, and it's like she doesn't have any plans on leaving him. So why didn't you just try to make the best of the moment? But I kind of agree with Ralph. Like, he just wanted to have a good night with his wife, and then she wanted to turn it into something very heavy and very dark and very deep. So he was like, yeah, and you just basically spit in my face. And then she questioned him about him going to some bar. I don't know if it was that night of the dinner when he left, he went to a bar. And so she was questioning whether or not he was actually there alone. And he said that she said something about 2 iced teas. I guess she saw the receipt or something on a credit card bill, but she was talking about, so you only had 2 iced teas by yourself and no one was with you. And he said, I was there with my homeboy. So I didn't understand that, but whatever the situation, and then she starts crying. So whatever the situation is, her and Ralph are still going through it. And it seems like things are getting even worse because he can't even stand to sleep in the same room with her. So back to the tea party. So Kenya wants to play a couple of games, and the first game that she wants to play is some Brooklyn trivia game. So she's asking questions, asking the ladies questions about, different trivia about Brooklyn. Then after they get done with that, Kenya wants to play a shady tea game, and you write down something shady about someone, and I guess whoever it's about has to either confirm or deny. I don't know. So the very first thing that someone wrote, Candy pulls the card and reads it, and it says Candy has given fellatio in the locker room. Is that Candy gave fellatio in the locker room? And Candy was like so offended by that. She's like, I have never done that. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? And in her confessional, Candy's like, that has never happened. I have never done that. And I know she hasn't done that because because Candy, she's got no shame in her game. She seems to be very open with her sexuality and her sex life. It seems like if it happened, she would admit to it, and she's got no issues admitting to things that she's done in the past. So I believe that Candy never did that. I don't know why somebody would write that. I thought that was hilarious, but Candy was pressed. She wanted to get to the bottom of it, but nobody fessed up about it. And so the next one was, oh yeah, and then Kenya was like, Candy, it's okay, but we need to move on. So then someone wrote Le Archive, which is Marlowe's company. Le Archive website was empty, no fashions at all. And I thought it was probably Kenya who wrote that. Marlo was like, well, this is how it works. You don't order directly from the website. You send us an email. And then if we're interested in you, we'll contact you back. Whatever, Marla. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So why even have a website then? Like, so your website is just an email for some people to contact you? What? I don't get it. So then Marlo and Kenya, they go back and forth about, who's really rich, who's really poor, and it's just stupid. And then someone wrote, what did someone write? They said, someone wrote that somebody doesn't pay their assistant. So now we're getting the ball rolling. So Drew says, she's directing this directly to Sheree. So Drew and Sheree, they're going back and forth about it. Sheree's whole thing is, he wasn't my assistant, so why would I pay him? She claims that she never hired this guy. They had no business relationship, so she had no reason to pay him anything. So at some point, Drew says, I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had. But why, Drew? Why is this a conversation that needs to be had? What do you have to do with whether or not Sheree paid Anthony, which is the assistant? What does that have to do with you? Why do you think it's a conversation that has to be had? And if you really do believe that it's a conversation that has to be had, then why didn't you have it directly with Sheree? Instead, you talked behind Sheree's back. You went to Candy. So why didn't you pick up the phone yourself or go to her house or, plan to have lunch with her and have this very pertinent conversation about Sheree not paying Anthony? So while Drew and Sheree are going back and forth about this whole assistant thing, Sheree's friend, Fatum, she chimes in and she says, is this the same guy that says your husband is gay? And I thought Drew heard this loud and clear because she stopped talking to Sheree and she was like, wait a minute, what? And then the Fatum lady, she says, I'm just saying that this guy is really messy because he's spreading rumors about you as well. He's going around telling people that Ralph is gay. Just like you said, he's telling people that Sheree never paid him. Either way, he's spreading rumors and he's messy as hell. So basically what Fatum was saying is, you're taking what he said about Sheree to heart, like it is the gospel truth. But girl, he's talking about you as well. And he's saying that your husband is gay, okay? That he's really out there in these Atlanta streets and he's really, he's a gay man. You're married to a gay man. And so if you feel like that's just, a lot of BS and a lot of nonsense, then why do you believe him with the stuff that he says about Sheree? And I don't know if Drew understood that or not. I don't think she really got that. And so, okay, so they're going back and forth, and now it's between Drew and Fatum. They're going back and forth. They're going at it. And so one of the guests leaves because, these women are getting loud. This is supposed to be a children's birthday party, but they're having these very serious adult discussions. And so one of the moms, she gets upset. She grabs her daughter and she's like, this is supposed to be a kid's party. This is so embarrassing. And so she takes off. So Kenya's like, guys, Guys, be quiet, guys. Guys, what, Kenya? You're the one that started this. You wanted to have a shady tea, you wanted to play a shady tea game with these group of women, and you thought it was going to be cool, calm, and collected, and it was just going to be some light, shady fun, ha ha ha, and then let's go about our. Girl, you knew what you were doing. So stop with all this, guys. Guys, no, this is what you started. This is what you wanted, and this is exactly what you got. So then Kenya asked Drew to apologize to Fatum because, she jumped all over her when she was just trying to explain to her that the problem is Anthony and he's spreading rumors about both of y'all, about everybody. So you need to apologize to her. And then Drew was like, okay. I'm taking what she said to heart, and he is on probation. And they're like, probation? Girl, this man is saying that your husband is gay. And then Drew was like, I didn't hear that. But girl, you did. You did hear that. How could you not? She was just sitting 2 seats away from you. How did you not hear that? And she was talking directly to you. And I think some other ladies at the table even repeated what she said. So Drew was like, oh, I didn't hear that. And everybody was like, Anthony said that your husband is gay. And Drew was like, oh, I didn't hear that. And then she was like, oh, whatever. So at some point, Sheree had said that, Drew, I thought you were a really cool girl when I first met you, but you're just a ditz. You're really ditzy. And this scene, this whole tea party scene here at the table, yeah, I have to agree with Sheree. Drew, you're ditzy. You're a ditz. You're an airhead. Um, do you not understand what's happening here? You thought you were bringing some tea. You thought you were really bringing the drama when you talked about Sheree not paying her assistant. That you were really carrying some bones. Girl, don't nobody care about that. We know that Sheree doesn't pay her bills. We know that. We've known that ever since, it took 11 years for her to build Chateau Sheree because she wasn't paying her contractors. We know she doesn't pay her bills. Whoever was supposed to be designing her fashions never took off because she probably didn't pay them either. We get that. This is our resident debtor. Sheree is our resident debtor. We understand that she doesn't pay people. She probably has, a million installment plans with all of these companies and entities that she's dealing with. She's probably on a month to month installment payment plans like it's nobody's business. They probably have her on payment plans as if she's going to live to be 1,000 years old. We understand that Sheree doesn't pay her bills, and we don't care because we get it. She's our resident debtor. Okay? It's not news to us. It's news to you, but it's not news to us. We've been knowing this about Sheree. So it's not hot piping tea that you're bringing that she wasn't paying her assistant. That's nothing at all. But the funny thing is, the gag is, as your girl Kiki Palmer would say, is that the tables got turned on you because Anthony going around, your assistant, your actual assistant, Anthony, the one that works for you and that you pay him money. He's taking that money that you're paying him and going around telling people that your husband's gay. That your marriage is a sham, basically. That your husband doesn't desire you at all, but desires others. So that's the tea. That's the piping hot tea. The tables got turned on you, Drew. What are you going to do about it now? Don't nobody care about Sheree not paying people because we know she don't pay people. What are you going to do about the stuff that your actual assistant, because Sheree said Anthony is not her assistant, your actual assistant is saying things about you. So how are you going to handle that, Drew? So at the after party, when the party was winding down, all the women were gathering by the door. They're still going at it about, Sheree told Candy, I want to have a word with you, Candy. And Candy was like, why am I in trouble? Because, Sheree's upset that Candy never went to her directly. And Sheree was like, I can understand Drew not coming to me directly because I don't know her, but I know you, Candy, and I've known you for years. And you should have brought that information directly to me, not to everybody else. And I agree with Sheree. On that. Yes, Drew gave you this information and you should have gone directly to Sheree herself and said, look, this is what this girl is saying about you, instead of going to Kenya. So I agree with Sheree on that. And then they were talking about, I guess Candy's inviting everybody to New York, probably to go see her play on Broadway. And so she just wanted to confirm that everybody was going to be coming. And so everybody said, yes, I guess. And then, Drew gets all up in Sheree's face and she's like, and we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna have fun. All up in Sheree's face. And Sheree was able to get your hand out of my face. And Kenya was trying to warn Drew, okay, you know those hands are gonna get you a beat down. Please tread lightly. Yes, girl, tread lightly. Have you not seen the Real Housewives of Potomac? Do you see how built Sheree is, how cut she is? Do you see how she works out? Do you see how you work out? You don't want it with Sheree. Sheree's going to twist you up like a damn pretzel. You don't want it with Sheree, Drew. I don't know what the hell you're trying to do, Drew. I don't know if you feel like you are, you're like taking down the dragon or you're taking down the giant. Girl, you're going to get yourself in the hospital and you're going to be in a full body cast if you don't tread lightly with Sheree. Because Sheree says she don't play about her money and she don't play about her kids. So all of this, no ma'am. No ma'am. She will twist you up like a damn pretzel. That is my review. Oh, poor Drew. One more thing. Yeah, Drew is getting it from all kinds of ends. She's getting it from her husband. Her husband's giving her the blues. Sheree is giving her the blues. Ain't none of these women got her back. So I don't know what she expected this season to bring to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but whatever she expected, I don't think is what she's getting. And another thing, Sonya, when are you going to show up for this show? The way you're acting right now, you're not worthy of holding a peach. You're worthy of being a friend of, not a peach holder, because you're not bringing any drama. Girl, I don't really care about you and your husband not being on the same page about having a baby. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. That's not interesting. That's a you and him problem. That's not a real Housewives of Atlanta kind of storyline. Girl, I don't care, because at the end of the day, you're probably not going to have that kid anyway. What else is going on with you? Exactly. Nothing. Sonya, I need you to bring it up. I need you to level up. Bring us something to talk about. Give us something interesting about you. The baby storyline, don't care. Moving on from that. Thank you so much for joining me in this review. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate. If you like this content, subscribe. If you don't like this content, it's perfectly okay. Just carry on. Thank you for stopping by anyway. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.